In a harrowing sequence of natural disasters, China found itself battling not just one, but two catastrophic threats on July 30th, 2025. What began as a tropical storm spiraled into a national emergency when Tropical Storm Koumei made landfall along China's southeastern coastline, only to be followed hours later by a powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, triggering regional tsunami warnings. Koumei, while not classified as a super typhoon, struck with surprising ferocity. Around 8:40 a.m. local time, the storm slammed into Zhoushan, a port city in Zhejiang province, with wind speeds peaking at 83 kilometers per hour and bringing with it a wall of water that overwhelmed urban infrastructure. More than 280,000 residents were evacuated from vulnerable coastal regions, particularly around Shanghai and Zhejiang. Emergency officials had declared the highest level weather alert across the region in advance, yet the storm's sudden escalation and unpredictable behavior left many cities under siege. In Ningbo, torrential rains turned streets into rivers. Entire neighborhoods became isolated as floodwaters submerged vehicles and swallowed intersections. First responders faced dangerous conditions, using pumps and barriers to redirect water, though many areas remained inaccessible for hours. Despite not taking a direct hit, Shanghai, home to over 24 million people, suffered massive disruptions. The city's entire ferry network was suspended, and both Pudong and Hongqiao airports were paralyzed by weather-related shutdowns. Over 640 flights were canceled in a single day, 410 from Pudong and 230 from Hongqiao, stranding thousands of passengers. The storm also impacted transportation hubs in Hangzhou, Wenzhou, and Ningbo, where delays and cancellations brought commerce and travel to a grinding halt. Highway speeds were restricted to under 60 km/h, while train services were ordered to reduce speed or suspend operations entirely. Even more unusual was what occurred inland. In Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan province, residents were caught off guard by a violent hailstorm. Occurring during the peak of summer, the event was described as apocalyptic by some locals. Skies darkened suddenly in the early afternoon, followed by heavy downpours and wind gusts. Within minutes, hailstones up to 3 centimeters, 1.2 inches, in diameter began pounding rooftops, shattering windows, and damaging cars. One dealership reported heavy losses with visibly shaken employees, including one who tearfully noted they had never seen hail this size in Chengdu before. In Shuangliu district, fierce winds uprooted trees and damaged power lines, causing widespread blackouts. Businesses closed, roads were jammed, and emergency crews were stretched thin across the sprawling city.
Oh, shit! Oh my god!
Cool. As if one crisis wasn't enough, just as officials were coordinating disaster relief on the eastern seaboard, a magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia, nearly 4,000 kilometers northeast of Shanghai. Within minutes, China's National Marine Forecasting Center issued tsunami alerts, warning that waves up to 1 meter, 3.3 feet, could reach the shores of Shanghai and Zhoushan by early evening. Unlike tropical storms that can be tracked and forecast, tsunamis offer little warning, moving swiftly across oceans with devastating force. Authorities warned that a 1-minute delay could cost thousands of lives, urging residents to remain alert, avoid coastal areas, and stay indoors. Koumei was never expected to be catastrophic. Classified as a tropical storm, not even a full typhoon, many residents were caught off guard by the scale of the storm's damage. But what made this disaster particularly dangerous was its unpredictability. The storm wasn't just about wind or rain, said one emergency response official in Shanghai. It was about a chain reaction, weather systems colliding, human systems failing. Koumei was quiet at first, but then everything hit all at once. While the storm's wind speeds peaked at 83 km/h, its real impact was in the compound effects: overlapping floods, traffic shutdowns, airport paralysis, power outages, and the looming tsunami. By the time Koumei moved inland, the city had transformed into a test case for modern disaster preparedness. Emergency shelters opened across Shanghai and neighboring provinces. Police cordoned off highways, redirected traffic, and used public messaging systems to issue real-time updates. Search and rescue teams were placed on high alert. Perhaps most bizarrely, in the midst of disaster, Shanghai Disneyland and Legoland both remained open. Legoland suspended its rides and shows, but kept gates open. Disneyland continued operations, citing strict weather monitoring and enhanced safety protocols. Social media lit up with reactions, some praising the decision as a show of resilience, others criticizing it as reckless. One user quipped, "If the ocean rises just a bit more, Mickey's going swimming." July 30th, 2025 will not be remembered for a super typhoon. It will be remembered for a series of overlapping crises, from the sky, the sea, and deep underground. Koumei wasn't the strongest storm to hit China, but it was among the most chaotic and unsettling. In Shanghai alone, over 280,000 residents were displaced. Tens of thousands of travelers left stranded, and infrastructure pushed to its limits. Emergency authorities responded swiftly and decisively, proving that even in the face of nature's fury, preparedness and coordination matter. Still, experts warn that complacency is no longer an option. The convergence of climate instability and seismic activity paints a grim picture of what urban resilience must look like in the 21st century.